Have you ever wondered why some people rush into relationships, not driven by love, but propelled by the fear of their own solitude? This fear is a shadow that clings tightly to the heart, whispering lies that to be alone is to be incomplete. Yet the Stoics, in their timeless wisdom, warn us the chains we choose for ourselves are the hardest to break. What if these chains are not forged from iron, but from the illusion of romance, the mere comfort of companionship, the deceptive guise of stability? Are they not, then, bindings that can blind us to our own clarity, peace, and inner strength? Picture a single tree standing tall on a windswept hill, roots gripping the earth beneath it. In its solitude, it stands resilient against the elements. This is the metaphorical landscape we explore today, the landscape where solitude becomes the soil from which emotional intelligence flourishes, where boundaries are the guardrails protecting our self-worth, and where inner peace grows strongest when nourished by the absence of external validation. The first step on this journey is understanding that solitude is not a barren wasteland, but a fertile ground for self-discovery and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius, that philosopher king who charged himself to reflect daily, reminds us the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In choosing to be single, we clear away the debris that obstructs our vision, giving ourselves the space to breathe and grow. This is not a withdrawal from the world, but a return to oneself. Now imagine a young woman, Maria, stepping into the world anew after the end of a long relationship. Her heart, though scarred by the past, begins to beat with a new rhythm, one that syncs with the quiet tempo of solitude. The mornings greet her with the soft light of potential, not the nagging doubts of inadequacy. As she sits alone with her thoughts, sipping tea on her balcony, she encounters her first test of emotional intelligence, the patience to understand her own emotions without the reflection of another. Emotional intelligence is a quiet process, much like the gradual opening of a flower. It requires observing one's own thoughts and feelings without judgment. In the tranquil corners of her mind, Maria conducts this introspective dialogue. She learns to embrace her vulnerability, recognizing it not as a weakness, but as the authentic core of her being. The solitude acts as a mirror, showing her who she truly is, unfiltered by the desires and expectations of a partner. As days turn into weeks, Maria's solitary journey builds a fortress within her, a fortress of self-worth protected by boundaries. The Stoics teach us that wisdom lies in knowing what is within our control and what is not. Her previous relationship had blurred these boundaries, leaving her susceptible to the tides of another's whims. By staying single, Maria gains the clarity to draw lines that define her personal space. She learns to say no, to guard her energy, to choose who she allows into her circle, if anyone at all. The art of setting boundaries is akin to the careful construction of a dam. Too rigid, and they may crack under pressure. Too lax, and they will barely hold against the flood. Maria applies this wisdom, learning to be firm yet flexible, confident in her sense of worth. This is her second lesson from solitude, that boundaries are not prisons, but the gates through which genuine connection, rather than mere attachment, may flow. Yet the external world, with its relentless clamor, often intrudes. Friends marvel at her newfound singlehood, questioning her choices, echoing society's biased narratives that to be single is to be lonely, to be lacking. It is here that Maria confronts another Stoic truth, the art of letting go of the need for external validation. Seneca wisely states, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." For Maria, the lesson is clear. Living well does not require the applause of others, only the deep resonance of inner peace. Solitude gives Maria the time to cultivate this peace, allowing her to explore passions and paths she might never have considered had she been tethered to another. In the sanctuary of her privacy, she paints, losing herself in colors and canvases, an activity once dismissed as trivial by her former partner. Here, the flow of creativity nurtures her soul, reinforcing her innate ability to find joy independently without borrowing from someone else's happiness. As we journey with Maria through the seasons of her solitude, we recognize this truth, that staying single is not an act of withdrawal, but an act of courage, a deliberate choice to embrace life in its raw, unfiltered form. It is in the singlehood that she discovers a profound resilience, an unwavering strength that is not beholden to external circumstances. Like the solitary tree standing firm against the storm, Maria learns to weather her internal tempests, emerging stronger, more assured in her path. Her journey echoes the fundamental tenets of Stoicism, the understanding that freedom lies in mastery over oneself. That peace is found within, not sought in the arms of others. As Epictetus once declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In her solitude, Maria becomes the mistress of her own destiny, walking a path defined not by fear of being alone, but by the conviction in her own value and the courage to forge a life on her own terms. In the end, the essence of solitude is distilled into a single, powerful insight, that self-mastery is the ultimate achievement. It is not about shutting out the world, but about creating a world within that is unassailable, rich with clarity and calm. To stay single is to choose freedom over fear, love for oneself over dependency, and the eternal pursuit of personal truth over the temporary allure of companionship. Maria's story is not singular, but universal. It speaks to the hearts of those who find themselves standing alone, their paths unlit by another's flame. It calls us to question, is it not in the silence of our own souls that we encounter the most profound revelations? In choosing to stay single, we do not deny love, but redefine it, beginning and perhaps ending with the love we offer to ourselves. The message of the Stoics is timeless. It whispers through the ages, inviting us to break free from chosen chains, to stand strong in solitude, and to become, in our singular journey, the heroes of our own stories. This is the power of staying single, an ode to freedom, resilience, and the high-performance mindset that emerges when we no longer seek validation from others but find it within ourselves, embracing life as it truly is. And so, we leave with a lingering question. If solitude is truly our greatest teacher, what lessons might still await you in the quiet spaces of your own heart?